So Jonathan, we have a situation in the US. I don't know if you've been following.
Certainly have.
But I mean, from a very simplistic perspective, in case you don't know what's up, we've elected a con man to run the country.
Yeah.
And he's sort of putting the foxes in charge of the hen house, right? We've got Rex Tillerson, Secretary of State. We've got Rick Perry, Department of Energy. What can you say about that? You're always so insightful.
I think I'm amazed actually how little talk there's been about that out here in Abu Dhabi, because to be honest, it's going to have huge implications for everybody who's trying to manage this energy transition away from fossil fuels to more sustainable energy sources, renewables, storage and so on. So there's no point denying it's a blow to those who thought that the transition would happen faster. I think it's going to be slowed down by Trump's emergence as president. On the other hand, even Trump can't do what he wants to do. There are two higher orders of reality that even Donald Trump will have to cope with. The first is the geopolitics of what's happening. And frankly, America would be setting itself against the grain now, even of countries like China and India.
Do you see the U.S. in general losing influence globally because
I do.
And China rising up to a higher?
I do, and I'm absolutely certain that China will take full advantage of that, because you've got this odd nexus emerging of the U.S. and Russia that want to hang on to the last barrel in the ground and eke out the last petrodollar, as it were, whereas other countries are saying, you know what, this isn't going to last much longer.
And it's almost begging China and Europe to have a stronger
It is, and I think that will happen. Yeah. And secondly, the reason why it happened is the market realities. And I'm just amused by people who think that Trump can get the US coal industry back up off the ground again and making a major contribution to energy in the US and as exports. I mean, this just isn't going to happen. Coal cannot compete now with either gas, which is not necessarily that good a thing, but it's a better thing than coal, and it can't compete now with renewables, with solar and wind and investments in energy efficiency and so on. So Trump can wave his magic wand or stick his digit finger into the air and hope that will change everything. It isn't going to change everything, and my bet is in a year's time, the US coal industry will be as clearly on the route to its demise as it is today.
Do you have thoughts on what the future of U.S. politics will be? I mean, do you? In my perspective, it's sort of the beginning of the end for the Republicans, because they're going to be shown for what they are.
I think the implications of this are huge for both the two main parties, actually, the Republicans and the Democrats. For me, I think it's really interesting that the day after Trump's inauguration, we're going to see a march in Washington.
And around the world.
And around the world. But in Washington, primarily from huge numbers of women who are just saying this is an insult to women the world over, and a shocking thing for us that we should have seen fit to elect a man who is so contemptuous of the role of women and so abusive of women. But for me, that's a really big story.